All right, here we are again. Welcome back to the channel because we are in the beginning week here of August, which means July's market numbers are out for the real estate market in the capital region. So we're going to cover this. We're going to go over everything. My name is Chris McMahon. I'm a local real estate agent here in the capital region, covering everything from Albany, Lake George, and everything in between there in the surrounding areas. I'm with eXp Realty. Thanks for visiting my channel here. We're going to jump right into it. The first thing, we're talking about single-family residential properties in this market report right here. I do an investment report that usually I do that in the second week of the month. So if you're interested in investment properties, multifamilies, then come and see me. Check back on this channel, subscribe so you get notified, and you can be able to check out that report and see what's going on here. But right now, we're jumping into single-family residence. Let's jump in, see what we got right here. I'm going to share my screen with you. The first thing I want to go over is capital region as a whole here. So let's share the screen. We've got these numbers up. Here's what we got. This blue line right here. This is our active listings, and we're seeing for the third month in a row, active listings are jumping up. So inventory is on the rise. It's going up. There's more out there for those buyers who maybe been sitting out there a little bit, not quite sure if they're ready to buy because they weren't sure if they were going to be able to find one. There's more opportunity out there right now. So it might be a good time to jump into the market and see what's available for you out there and see what you might be able to pick up before we go into the colder winter months when things tend to drop down a little bit. There still is time, though. So that has gone up. It's at 1818. We're up over 1800 again. So if you're a buyer and you're thinking of buying, reach out, get a hold of me. Let's have a conversation. I can help you out with checking some things out on the market and seeing where you stand. So the green right here, these are the new listings. New listings did dip. So looks like it was about even. I think down a little bit previous month, but this month it did drop down to 1246. That's just the new listings. Pending listings dipped down a little bit to 983. So less pending. We've got more on the market. Is there less people out there looking? And is there more? Well, we know there's more properties coming there, but are there less people out there in competition for those properties? Because we're seeing this gap right here between the two of them kind of separating a little bit. Let's go over and check the list prices. Now, we were in a big spike last month. This is our average sales price right over here. We're going to do this. It looks like we dropped down a little bit. So the average sales price for the capital region was $360,000 for the month of June. For the month of July, it dropped down to $362,000. So that price is dipping down a little bit as far as the average. Absorption rate, again, third month in a row, it's going up. We were at a low over here in April, not over here in July. We're just under 2 months at 1.91 months for our absorption rate. And list to sold ratio, that still went up a little bit here. So we got some interesting things about this coming up here later with some of the other areas that I've kind of taken note of. But we're at over 100%, 101.6. And again, this has been steadily going up since February. And right now, it went up again to 101.7. So we did see an increase in that. With days on the market, again, February, it's been dropping for the past, 6 months. We're now at just over 3 weeks at 22.2 days we got there. Now, where in the market, in the capital region, is the hottest price range that houses are moving? Let's go down and take a look at this. Right here, we got 171 and this 300 to 399 range. So that 300 to 400,000 right there, that's where most of the movement is occurring in this area. So if you are thinking of selling and you are in that 300 to 400 range of the house, those are the ones that are really moving and they're going fast. So keep that in mind. If you're not sure what your home is evaluated or you're just curious of what your home is evaluated, again, my contact information is below. Reach out. You can even schedule right on my calendar. Get a hold of me. I can do an evaluation for you. No obligation. Just kind of let you know what your home could be valued at if you were to put it on the market today. So reach out and get a hold of me. You get that. My phone number is down there as well. Call or text that. Either one is fine with me. But our second area coming in here, we've got that 500 plus range, 122 in that 500 plus range. So we're skipping right over the 400s. So that doesn't even come in second or third. I think that's looking about fifth right here because we got our second is at 2 to 250. Maybe a lot of investors in that area coming and buying up and selling them up in this 400 range. And then we got the 250 to 300 range, 102 coming in. So anywhere, hottest moving area, 300 to 400,000 area right there. So, all right, now that was overall overview of the capital region as a whole. Let's skip ahead. Now we're going to break it down to a couple different areas I'd like to go over. We're going to start off with Saratoga Springs. I always like to start off with that area. That's That's where all the high price point is usually in here. So let's come down here. We got July and Saratoga Springs. Let's take out these sold listings so it's a little bit less cluttered. What do we got right here? Active listings actually dropped in Saratoga from 92 to 85. So it's a little bit of a drop down in that area right there. But we are seeing an increase in new listings. New listings went from 61 to 68. So more new listings popped up in the area. Active listings kind of went down. We're also seeing a downward trend with these pending, which was 48 down from 53. So that dropped about 5 with the pending, a little bit different there. Let's go over and see active listing prices. Now, this is the average sales price. Now, if you remember last month, we were really high. I think we were about 830,000, right around that area. So, yep, 830, almost 831,000 was the average price. We did see a dip in the prices. You can see a spike that comes right back down to 736,000. And this 831, let's double check that. Yeah, that was the 12-month high for that area as well, as far as we go back over the month. Then now it dropped down a little bit to 736. So it's kind of coming right back down, not all the way, halfway down from where it spiked from the month before. The absorption rate, Saratoga dropping down. We're just over a month here, about 1 or 2.19 months of inventory in the area. And the list of sold ratio. Now, this is kind of fun. This is, let's see, if you're selling in Saratoga, you're going to want to take note to this list of sold to list ratio. This is an important number that you want to know. If basically what this number is what you listed the price for and what it's sold for. And when it's over 100%, it means that you're getting more for the property than what you're listing it for. If it's below 100%, it means people are getting less for the property than what they're listing for. So we were just over 100% last month. There was a pretty big jump. And as you can see, the spike, it's almost up to 105,000. So it's getting almost 5% over what the asking price is in. And we already know that the average sales price in Saratoga is 732, 735, right around in there. So 5% of that is looking at about 35,000, it looks like. So that's just going by these numbers that we're showing right here. But looks like prices are getting over their asking price in there. Days on the market had took a pretty steep decline right here. It was 41 previous month. It's down here to 22.7, right around the average for the capital region. So that kind of came back down on us on that one. And where is the hot spot in Saratoga? Let's take a wild and crazy guess. So we're 732 is the average sales price in Saratoga. So it really is no surprise that we had the majority of homes sold in Saratoga last month was the 500 plus range, which is 22. The second coming in at 400 to 499, and then followed by the 300. So kind of not a real shocker right here if we're looking at the numbers. I mean, that's what you would expect to see based on the numbers that we looked at earlier. But that is Saratoga. That's our price points in that area. Let's go over here and let's check out the next location we're going to look at. Let's check out Clifton Park. That's going to be a little bit south of Saratoga Springs for those of you who are watching from out of the area and trying to get a little bit of a bearing of where everything is. This is probably about 20 minutes south of Saratoga, depending on where you're coming from, how close you are to the highway and everything like that. But here we go. Active listings, second month on the rise, up to 40. Our right over here is our new listings coming down. So new listings dropping. Active listings are going up. So some things look like they might be staying on the market a little bit longer. They're not going away, but we'll see. So this was 49 for new listings, down to 40. This jumped from 34 up to 40 right there. They're intersecting. And the number of pendings dropped from 44 to 35 on that one. So listing prices, a little bit of a spike here coming in here in the Clifton Park area. So we were at 436, almost 437 last month. Now we're going up to 494,000 for the average sales price. That's going to be that 12-month high, because this one right over here is going to be just slightly under. This was back in February. February was a busy month here. But back in February, 492,000. So it's a little bit higher than it was. So we're just reached our 12-month high in Clifton Park area. The absorption rate month is going up. We're over a month. When before we were just below a month, so we're a little bit over a month now. List of sold ratio, again, second month in a row that this has gone up. We're seeing even bigger decline. I mean, it was at 104.7 last month, 106. So this is even higher than the Saratoga Springs area. So on average, they're getting 6.7% higher than prices that they're listing for in Clifton Park. So in days on the market, actually went up a little bit here, didn't it? So stayed about even. It was 6.5 days. Now it's at 7. So they're lasting about a week there. So they're going fast. They're getting more than they're asking. And we're looking at this. Active listings are on the rise on this one. So where's the hot spot in Clifton Park? Let's come down and check this out. Again, probably not going to be a huge surprise over here, but over 500,000. We got 18. 18 is the big spot right there. 400 to 499. And then it's just kind of dropping down a little bit as we go there. So over 500,000 is the hot spot in Clifton Park as well. So the next area we're going to come in, let's take a look at here. So Clifton Park, let's come out and check out. Let's take on Queensbury here and see what we got. What is new in Queensbury? This is kind of cluttered up here. Let's take something out right now, kind of make this a little bit more. We'll bring that penny back in a second. But our blue is our active listings. That actually dropped down from 28 to 23, so less active listings over there. New listings was at 30, and that dropped significantly down to 18, so not a lot of new listings coming out in there. And what do we got for our pending listings? Let's take this out here. Our pending listings was 24 and down to 19, so that has dropped as well in that area. So active listings here, so our average sales price, we're going to see a dip on this one, 431,000. It was last month, or the month of June, I should say, because last month is July, was 357. So it took a pretty good drop down over here as far as the average sales price in Queensbury for that month. Coming down, absorption rate dropped. They were about 1.34. Now they're about just over a month as far as inventory goes. List to sold ratio. So numbers are kind of dropping down, looking a little bit favorable for here as far as his prices. Prices are going down. The list to sold rate, or the sold to list ratio, went from just over 100 to just under 100%. And we got days on the market is coming way down for the second month in a row. It took a big drop. So this is about 9 days on the market is on the average on that one right there. So let's kind of come down and see where the hot spot is here. Right here, that 300 to 399 range. We had 7 closings on that month right there in that area. And then we've got 2 in the 4 to 499 and then 2 above the 500 range in that one for Clifton Park. Coming in here, let's check out its neighbor right there. We'll go Glens Falls next. We're going to hit this area up again. It's a little bit cluttered, so we're going to take that out, and we're going to take a look at the active listings first. Active listings, second month in a row, going up. We're up to 14 active listings. We're not at 14 active listings. What are we at here? Active listings was 12. Okay, now we're at 13. Sorry, I got the lines confused on me right there. So went up 1 as far as that one, but still an increase. But new listings went from 18 down to 14. Let's bring our pendings in here and move that one a little bit. So this is going to almost mirror what we got going on here. The pending listings was from 15 to 12 on that one. So average sales price dropped. We were 235 just about, and dropped down to 219. So we're seeing a little bit of a dip in Glens Falls. Queensbury dipped. Glens Falls it dipped. We're seeing both of them. Saratoga it dipped. So we're seeing those prices come down a little bit. The absorption rate was just under a month. Are we going to make it to a month? 1 month exactly is the absorption rate. So, and the list to sold ratio took a spike right here. It was at just a touch over 100% in the month of June and July. Now it's at 107.6%. So we're seeing some of these places is a little bit seeing a jump in the list and the sold to list ratio in a lot of these places. And look at this, days on the market dropped down quite a bit. It was below the average last month at just under 3 weeks. And now we're looking at 2 weeks as far as days on the market that it's lasting right there. And we scroll down here, the hot spot right now at 250 to 299 range is where the hot spot is. It had 3 sales right there. So not a lot of activity, 9 total sales in that area. So these numbers can fluctuate quite a bit when you don't have as many areas in there. But let's go through here and let's check our next location. South Glens Falls. I always like to touch on South Glens Falls. We're going to wrap. We'll do South Glens Falls right now. We'll wrap up with Lake George. We'll pull that in there. So, all right. Let's take the pendings out, make it a little bit. Look at these lines. So, almost mirror image of each other right here. So our blue active listings 12 down to 7. And as far as our new listings was 11 and down to 6. So yeah, they pretty much exactly mirrored themselves as the numbers are going. But Average sales price did jump 297 to 395. So there's a big jump on that right over there. Absorption rate came down. We were just about a month and a half, and now we're at just under a month. So it came down about 2 weeks ago. And our what's the sold ratio? This dropped. They were high last month at 108.6. I think that's probably the highest one that we saw from what I can remember right now. And now it's still over 100. It came down to 103%, but it was the highest when we saw that. And we're seeing a big dip in the days on the market of 46 coming down to 7. Holy cow. So that came down to way below the average. So things are moving out of there pretty quick. What is the hot spot? Well, we only had 5 sales over there in Glens Falls this month, but that's all right. The 3 of them were in that 300 to 399 range. So that's our South Glens Falls. Sorry, that's our South Glens Falls region. I like to cover that spot. And let's check. Our last spot we're going to go to here is Lake George, July. Let's see what we got here, because this might be interesting, because Lake George is a very summer place to be. A lot of camps that people come up with for just in the summertime and that kind of thing. So a lot of people sell them in the summer months, and a lot of people are going to buy when they're up here in the summer months. So let's see what kind of activity we're looking at here. Right now, active listings, we were at 32 last month. It went up to 35, so a little bit of an increase on that one right there. The green line is our new listings. New listings, actually, it was 16, dropped to 15. So the new listings is staying pretty consistent, really. I mean, it came down 1, but that's staying in the ballpark of where it was. The number of pendings, look at this. We saw an increase. There we go. So it was 8, and it jumped up to 13. So the number of pendings went up in that area. So coming over here, average sales price, it was 2.6 million. I don't know if you remember that one from last month, 2.6 million. Now the average sales price was 500,000 for this month, so quite a big drop. Now this, I mean, you can see was a pretty big spike. So I mean, it was probably reminiscent of a couple properties, couple big properties that sold high dollar. That we didn't have that this month. So it kind of came back down. It's still lower than it was been, but it kind of came back down to where it normally was in the past. So absorption rate went up a little bit. They're at 4.5, and now they're at just over 5 months as far as that goes. Sold to list ratio, they were getting 95%, almost 96% in the month of June. And we're up to a little bit over. So it broke that 100 mark. It's just a little bit over that 100% area. And days on the market came down from 100 to 25, which is right about the average for the capital region. And where are the spots that they are selling? That 500 plus range. 3 in the 500 plus range, 2 with the 400 to 500, 2 at the 300 to 400 range. So that's our market summary. Now, if there's an area in the capital region that you're interested in and you'd like to know more about, and I didn't cover it in this video, again, reach out to me. My contact information is below there. Reach out, get a hold of me. More than happy. I can do your own video. We can book an appointment on my calendar. We can go over that as well and kind of give you this information to arm yourself to be ready to buy or sell your house in the capital region here. So, again, if you found some value in this, please click subscribe. Click the little bell so you get notified, because we're doing all kinds of videos and they're coming out. We do my market report, we do the investment report, and we just got neighborhood and business spotlights and stuff like that too. So keep an eye out for the next video coming out here. We should have that investment report coming next week. And again, if you got any questions on real estate, anything I can help you out with, reach out, get a hold of me. More than happy to have that conversation with you. And we will see you guys on the next video.